Good afternoon, everybody. You're welcome to today's session about digital education. My name is Quincy Ademola, and I'm the Digital Education Assistant Manager of EduTAMS. And when we talk about EduTAMS, you know what EduTAMS is. It's so nice seeing everybody. Please come online, share with a friend, invite somebody, because today promises to be amazing. And also to our viewers, once again, please comment, engage with us, subscribe to our YouTube channel so you get informed when we drop informative and educative content also. So once again, you're welcome. Good afternoon, you're welcome. Please come and engage with me. I want to see you. Please drop your favorite emoji in the comment section. Let me know you can hear me, and let's know we are both on the same page. So I'm so excited to be here. So you're welcome to today's digital education webinar, which is staying safe online in the digital era, a skill set for educators. So I have an amazing guest in the building who is really loaded, and yes, we won't waste much of our time. But yes, I mentioned EduTAMS, and before we dive in, what is EduTAMS? EduTAMS is a school management solution that helps easing all of our school day-to-day activities. That is from the point of admission to the point of graduation and everything in between. And it helps make everything easier, from the learning outcomes as a teacher, to the student performances, to the academic, the administrative. Many times help eases a lot of bulk load of stress and helps us as educators to get better. So without wasting much of our time, let me bring in our guests. So I have with me an amazing person. He's a friend. I must state that firstly. He's a friend, he's a brother, he's an IT person, and he's also an educator. Because yes, I can say that because he educates a lot of people, and he's also a CEO. He has his brand, and yes, he doesn't fail to teach us how being safe online means. He continually teaches us about digital literacy and helps us with the right skills to learn. So I have with me Faith Oludare. Hello, Faith.
Hi, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you very much. It's good to be here again.
It's so nice to have you. It's really so nice to have you. Yeah, the last time we had you on our session, you were teaching us about digital citizenship and also partly about being safe too. I could remember. So yeah, we brought you up again to take us on another level, because we know the knowledge right from the previous time to now, there have been a lot in between. So it's so nice to have you here once again.
Thank you very much.
So we won't want to waste our viewers' time, because we know being teachers themselves, being educators, they have a lot going on in their lives, and they would also want to meet up with some specific goals. So we would keep to our time this time, and we hope God helps us. So Faith, the topic, staying safe online in the digital era, on a context not taking us deep really, what do you think is really talking about?
When a layman here being safe online, they might think, okay, yeah, we need to avoid the people that can scam us. But then being safe online is really more than that. If you use a lot of your time to watch content that does not develop you as a person, and maybe after scrolling through social media, you feel depressed at the end of the day, that means you are not safe, right? So there's many things we need to put together to ensure that our psychological health, our emotions, and every other thing that comes in between are stable. And social media and internet can contribute to the fact that we can feel unsafe sometimes when you see your friend that you finished school together doing great, so to say, and you
Right.
feel not doing anything with my life. Meanwhile, you are growing, but because you are not sharing everything, you feel
Mm.
inferior sometimes. So being unsafe online is more than getting ourselves shielded from scammers and cyber attackers, but
Mm.
generally using the platform without any harm.
Wow, I think I learned something today. So that means basically being safe is not only trying to be safe from scammers, it also has a
Not
lot
that.
to do with our psychological health, our mental health. I've recently I noticed that I read some content and unknown to me, I began acting like that content, and
Mm,
it occurred to me that that wasn't my person and it was affecting some other people that I love actually. Then I understood that I think I've learned in the negative way, not in
right?
the positive way, yes. And my psyche began to think from that perspective. So I didn't know that I was being unsafe. I thought it was just a random thing online.
Mm.
Wow. So that's a huge one. Thank you so much. So please let's just dive right into it today, sir.
Yes, very quickly. Thank you very much for having me again, and thanks to all the EduTAMS team for putting this together. Yeah, so very quickly today I'll be talking on staying safe online in the digital era, essential skill set for educators. I love this topic so much because educators are influencers and they are supposed to be role model to their students, right? And most of the time their students playfully take their role, mimic them, and there's a popular word that says what you don't have you cannot give. So first, educators must know how to stay safe online, then they can now go ahead and help their students or their learners to do the same. Now, the best thing that has ever happened to us as a generation is the invention of the internet. Many of our work has become so easier. Why? Because of the invention of the internet. Now, all schools today in Ogun State, public schools and some private schools are using EduTAMS to make their work easier. Why? Because of the invention of the internet. And you will agree with me that things has become more easier. The way you do things before with your paper and your pen, you spend a lot of time, you crack your brain, you go through a lot of strenuous work to achieve what you want to achieve. But right now, with EduTAMS, you can do those things freely. Why? Because of the invention of the internet. The governor today can decide to check the learners in a particular remote village in Ogun State. Why? Because of the invention of the internet, right? So the internet is fantastic, and that's the best thing that has happened to us. But then, as good as the internet is, it also comes with its own baggages. There is no product without its own downsides. And so, if you get a product, you purchase a product, you should be able to go through the guidelines of that product so that you can use it effectively. But then I don't think there's any manual for the internet. And that's why many people fall for the scams that goes on in that space. And I said here that that's why it is very vital for us to understand how the web works so we can navigate it effectively. If we don't understand how web works, then it won't be easy for us to navigate it effectively. I tell people that gone are the days when they will tell you that the digital skills you must have is how to use Microsoft Word, how to use PowerPoint, how to use Excel. But in today's world, it is more than that. As a digital citizen, you must know how to buy a simple domain. You must know how to host a website. Those are small things that everybody needs to know about. In some developed countries, it will be strange to them for them to know that there are some countries that people don't know how to buy a domain name, how to host a website. But these things are online. We can get these informations online. But most of the time, we tend to watch things that would not add value to ourselves. We tend to watch entertainment. We tell ourselves that, yeah, Nigerian problem is too much. Let's laugh a little bit. Before you know it, you have spent 4 hours watching what will not develop you as a person. Now, this is a question for you. Do you know if you have an email or use any online services that request for your personal data, your record has been stored somewhere online? Either you know it or you don't know it today. Your record is somewhere online. And the sad thing about this is that you do not own the data anymore. You can say, yeah, it's my name, it's my email, it's my this, it's my that, but you don't own it anymore. Those data are owned by the companies with which you register, and they can use that information to earn money. Don't worry, I will explain. Let's move on. Now, that's why I like to talk about digital footprint. When you walk on the sand, whether barefooted or with a shoe, we would see your footprint on the ground. If you walk in a particular place and you see a sign, maybe a reptile or a snake pass through, you should be able to know that a reptile passed through this place. So if you go online too, you leave some steps online. And so what is digital footprint? Digital footprint are the records and the traces that will leave behind us as we use the internet. And we can leave them intentionally, we can leave them unintentionally. Your digital footprint may be a benefit or a risk to you. But one thing that it will not do is to be relevant. Never. Your digital footprint will never be relevant. It's either it brings benefit to you or it brings the other side to you. Now, we have two types of digital footprints. Number one is passive, number two is active. The passive one are the ones you leave online unintentionally, like your IP address, like your location, like your browser history. Those are the things you leave behind you unintentionally. And there's no how you can do these things. If you go online, you leave them online, right? So the second one is active digital footprint. This is the ones that you leave deliberately. For instance, if you want to register on Facebook, Facebook will ask you for your name, for your email address. Facebook will even ask you for your brother's name, your sister's name. It might even ask you for your father's name, your wife's name. There's a way you connect all of these things together. That if I come to your profile, I'll be able to know, okay, this is your wife, these are your children, these are your relatives, this is your cousin. There's a way these things work. And then if you go online and put those things there, thinking, yeah, Facebook asked me, let me just put it. You're putting yourself at a risk. Because if you're influential and I can see your profile like that and I can see all the people that are connected to you, I mean, things might go wrong, right? That's why this is very important. I have another question for you. Everything has a price. Do you know that? Nothing is free. Nothing at all. You use Facebook. Say Facebook is free. It's a lie. Facebook is not free. What do you use again? You use YouTube. You use any service that you use online that promises you free. I tell you, there's this popular word that says that if you are not paying for the product, you are the product. Because either you like it or yes, they would use the data they collected from you to get money somewhere else. And you can't bargain this thing. I mean, if you are not paying money for it, you will pay with another thing. And that's why someone say money in itself is not valuable. All right? So it is not a new idea and it is not a black and white discrimination. It's just the summary of the whole thing that holds online resources together. If you are using an online platform and it is free, then you are the one that is paying for that thing. And what do you use to pay? You use your personal data too. Now, as educators, you need to know some things. And there are a lot we need to know actually, but I wrote two here. Number one, how to identify ads. And number two, how to stop push notifications on your phones. I ask people, why will you have a phone? You have a cell phone. Maybe you're a father, you're a mother, and you cannot give your phone to your kids. As soon as you on your data, we see a lot of notifications showing a lot of nudity and all like that. Even you don't like it, but then you think that you don't have power over it because those applications comes with your phone. These are part of being safe online. These notifications might not come really to get your bank account details but it can harm your children. It can change their orientation to things that are more than their age. There was a study done by Google some years back, and they noticed that a lot of people that fell into pornography, the first time they saw it was through a push notification. And you know, the mind of children are very inquisitive. They want to know things. Right? And so if you expose them to things that they are not supposed to know, then it becomes a problem at the end of the day for them and even for you as a parent. And if they are your student too, you should know how to stop some of these things from popping up in your phone. And I wrote it here. So I will start from that, then I will go to the other one later on. How do you stop push notifications from applications installed on your phone? I know two applications that does that a lot of time. Anytime I'm privileged to hold the phones of people, I see a lot of notifications and I ask them, why don't you just mute this thing? They will tell me, I don't know how to do it. So this is how to do it. You just go to the settings in your phone and then you scroll down, you see app management. When you click on app management, click on all apps. As soon as you do that, you will see all the applications on your phone. Now tap on any of them that you feel gives you more notifications that you don't like, you want to mute. Then once you click on it, you tap notification. There are different navigations there. Just click on notification. Then once you click on notification, you will see all the notifications just like you are seeing on the screen here. That place that I have arrow, just tap on it. It will off the other three below it automatically. So once you do that, you're free to go. So when you now on your data, your phone will not lag. Your phone will not begin to pop up different notifications that you are not interested in. So the other one is how to identify ads. Many people go to different websites and maybe they want to download the music or they want to just get some information online. And they begin to see all of these ads jumping up and down on the website. They don't know what to click on. They click on ads unknowingly. So there is a way to identify ads, and if you can see the screen very well. If you are using a mobile phone, please you can just turn it to landscape so that you can see it very well. And if the slide is blurred, you can change it. Just click on the gear icon and change the quality of the video from there. You will see it will be sharp. So these are how to identify ads. On Google search results, you will see sponsored or ads on top of the search results. So when you see that sponsored, anything you see below it is an ad. That is someone advertising to you, right? If you click on it, that is an ad. I don't want to go too deep into that, right? Another one I have here, this is a website. You see the arrow pointing up and pointing beside. Those things are ads. They are not part of the content of the website. And this other one is from Facebook. You can get ads on Facebook too. You see sponsored. You need to understand how some of these things work. Some people might want to download application. They want to download the game. Your children want to download the game. Once they go there, they will see different download. And some of them might be dancing, might be jumping. But those are not the right download button. If you click on it, it will lead you to another page, which might be potentially harmful for them. So it is very important for us to ensure that we know how this thing works. This is a particular site that helps you to get rid of your old account on other platforms. If you have old accounts on different platforms, or maybe you have registered on a lot of platforms and you don't know them again, some of them you don't even have access to them again. Go to this website, saymine.com. If you put your email there, they would help you gather every information about you spread across the internet. And you can now tell them either you want to delete some or you want to just leave it like that. Now, before I go ahead, I was saying something the other time. I said digital footprints are the informations that people can use to make money. They can use it to find out what you like. They can use it to find out where you go. They can use it to find out who you are having lunch with next Tuesday. It is very possible. I do digital marketing, and there's a way you can tell Facebook, okay, Facebook, we want you to advertise this product to Mr. A, Mr. B, and Mr. C that lives in Jalingo, that drives this kind of car, that has 3 kids. There's a way we can do that. And Facebook will take that product and advertise to them. How did Facebook know them? Because Facebook already collected their data, even though the platform is free. That was what I was trying to explain the other time. Even though the platform is free, but Facebook requires something from you that they can monetize, because the server that Facebook was hosted on is not free. They need to pay for that. So they need to look for a way to generate money for themselves. And it's not a bad thing. It's just that you as a person, you need to know the company that you are leashing out your information to. That is why this is quite important. You can't do without. We cannot do without it. We need to use online services. But the company you are partnering with, do you know them too well? Do you trust them? Just like EduTAMS. You give them information. Yes, because you trust them. They have been tested and they are trusted. And I believe you enjoy their services. So this is how these things work. You can't avoid it, but just ensure that the company you're working with is a trusted one. If EduTAMS cannot be trusted, they will not be doing this. And so you should know that they have your interests at heart. That's why they are bringing this on board, so that you don't walk into traps that has been set by all of these cyber criminals. So I will just run through this without wasting time, because I know my time is fast spent. What are the best practices of the internet? Number 1, use strong password. We cannot emphasize this enough. You should use at least 8 characters if you want to create a password for yourself. And please don't use your birthday. Don't use your birth month. Don't use any word that people can easily guess. I mean, some people use this, especially the older ones. Think, I don't want to forget, so let me just use something that is simple. Be careful so that you don't blame yourself at the end of the day. Make sure you use strong password. And please, if you are using strong password, it must not be less than 8 characters. And these 8 characters must have capital letters, it must have small letters, and some symbols. If you like, you can also add numbers just to, tweak things up. For instance, if you want to use authentication as your password, you can use AUTH as small letter. You can write E and N as capital letter, then TI, small letter, then CA, capital letter. You just Just mingle everything together in such a way that people will find it difficult to guess. So the other one, use two-factor authentication. Many people that does not use that on WhatsApp, they get their WhatsApp hacked. And I know you don't want to go through that stress. If you have not been there before, please don't desire to be in that state, because it is very, very gruesome. So ensure that you put every security measures in place when you are using any online services. Be cautious of personal information. Please avoid sharing sensitive information like your full name, like your phone number, your address, your financial details with strangers on the internet. Some people will reach out to you, they will tell you, I'm so from this place, you have won some somebody called me some times ago, like that I won some amount of money, very huge amount of money. Very huge. He now said, okay, to claim your money, you need to send, I think 500k. You need to send 500k to us so that we can use this process. I know you are smiling, right? Because you know where that is leading to. So we need to be very, very careful in sharing stuff with strangers online. And please think before you post personal information on social media. Social media is a public media, right? So you must ensure that you think twice if you want to post anything on social media. Another one is for you to recognize phishing attempts. Some people will use social engineering for you. For some of you that are Christians or you are new to that belief system, you will agree with me that what the devil used as a trick for Eve in the Garden of Eden was social engineering. God has told them not to eat. But when he came, he said, has God told you not to eat? That is social engineering, trying to get information out of her. And that's what most fishers do. They come to you, they ask you questions so that you can divulge some information to them. And so we must be careful. We must be extremely sensitive while dealing with people on the internet. They can bring something very attractive to you. Be careful before you run into that trap. They might throw a bait at you. Be careful before you pick the bait so that you don't have yourself to be blamed. Don't click on suspicious links or download attachments from unverified senders, please, because as soon as you click on it, the aftermath, it might be too late for you to recover again. It is better to just leave some things to go than to say you don't want to lose it and you eventually begin to blame yourself. Features are everywhere. Even you need to tell your children, to your students, they must be very cautious. I saw a documentary some times ago and I was showing it to the student of one of the schools that we consult for. That guy posed himself online as a 16 years old kid. Meanwhile, he's, I think, close to 30. He was chatting with these kids and tell them that he wants to come to the house. And these gullible kids gave the guy the address of their house. There are three of them. And so what the guy did was that he called the parents of those kids and told them, your kid has given me this and that, and I will tell your kid to come out in the night. And the parent was telling the guy that no way, my kid will not come out. And lo and behold, all of them came out. Different families. It's a documentary and it's online. So we need to be very, very careful in divulging information to strangers on the internet. The other one is that we must ensure that we use secure website. If the site is not secure, please don't put your sensitive information on that site. Use privacy settings. Use it. It is there for you. Go there and set everything up. Change it. It is your profile. Go ahead and customize it to yourself, to something that will suit you. And please think before you post on the internet. It is very important. Avoid cyberbullying and online harassment. Some people just go online, especially during that time of election, because of election, right? People began to abuse themselves. I mean, you should not be caught doing that thing as an educator. It doesn't bring prestige to you. And one thing about the online platform is that if you post anything online, it is there. You can't get rid of it again. No matter how much you try to clean up, some people might have screenshotted what you wrote in anger. And so you should not be caught. There's a way you can walk past a particular post. You just linger and you just go. Just scroll. It's very vital. You stay informed about scams, and that's what EduTAMS is doing. I really appreciate them for doing this. Continually educate their audience about online scams. And you personally too, you must ensure that you take that responsibility as a digital citizen to ensure that you stay afloat of what is going on in the digital space. Now, you also need to secure your device. This is very important. Some people use their mobile phones and their laptops. They use it without antivirus. And some people, if they want to get antivirus, they would go and get free antivirus. I tell you, this is putting you at risk. Because remember, I told you that if you are using any product for free, you are the product because they get some information from you. If you put free antivirus on your system, these guys have access to what you have on your system. I mean, you are using it for free, you should pay something, right? And so I don't want us to have this mentality or this mindset that, yeah, we can get free, we can get this free, we can get that free. Be careful because it is dangerous. And another thing is that when you go to some sites, you can see a notification that says your mobile device is corrupted. I've seen that before. You just see a pop-up. It's a lie. Please don't click on that thing. Just get out of that website because they want to use that to lure you into something that you regret later. If you go to any website and they tell you that, yeah, your system is damaged, your system is crashed, na lie. Please be careful to click on that link. Now, you need to ensure that you educate your children, you educate your students on some of these things. They must be careful while they are using their phone. Some of them are excited that they have mobile phones, they can use the internet and all of that. They want to do their assignments. We must teach them how to be internet awesome. They need to be smart and ensure that they get education and not the other side of what we have in the digital space. The other one is for us to avoid oversharing. I've said this over and over again, and I cannot stress it enough. You must ensure that you avoid oversharing. Be critical of online information. Before you post anything, please verify the credibility. Before you reshare anything, either on WhatsApp or on any other platform. Some people will get one information now and they begin to talk about it to people before they now realize that, oh, that information was actually falsified, and they begin to blame themselves for that. So before you post at all, before you share any information at all, ensure that you verify the credibility of the platform that one is coming from. And please don't be part of the people that share misleading or false information. The other one that I have here is that you must ensure that you limit your screen time. This is very vital because of our digital well-being. Some mobile phone has this digital well-being. You can customize the screen of your phone so that it doesn't affect your eyes. You can do some other things to know how many hours or minutes you're using on one app or the other, just to keep you in track and make sure that as you're using the internet, you are being productive. You are not just busy. You are not just scrolling. You are not just wasting time, but you are being productive online. So I have a call to action here for all of us. After this call, I want you to go ahead and make a search about yourself. Just Google your name, and please don't use it on your normal phone. You can change your phone to incognito mode. There's a way to do that. If you don't know how to do that, just search how to change your browser to incognito mode. Search it online, you get the information. So change that to incognito mode and search for your name and see what comes up. If you like what comes up, good for you. Keep building your brand. But if you don't like it, then I think it's time to shake things up a little bit. Now, I want to believe that if you practice all of these guidelines that I've mentioned above, it will help you and I to, stay safe and maintain responsible online behaviors while navigating the digital space. Thank you very much for having me.
It's so nice to have you, sir. Wow, it's amazing. My note is filled already. Thank you so much, Mr. Faith.
Very much.
Yeah, please to our viewers, if you have questions for Mr. Faith, kindly drop them in the comment section because we'll be taking them. Because myself, I have a lot of questions for you, sir. I hope
No
you're there.
problem. No
All
problem.
right. So it's not really like a question, basically. While you were talking, I kind of had some personal experiences of things. When you were talking about people to stop oversharing their personal information. I've had some couple of I achieved a particular milestone of recent, and some couple of milestones, and I intentionally didn't share them online. Now, because I discovered of recent, Facebook has been doing something. It's been bringing memories of years. You understand that you've done, and I felt like, okay, this information, I don't think I want it out there. Probably not now. I hope you're with me.
Yeah.
And it became a ruckus when some of my friends got to know about that milestone offline. Then they started fighting me. So it became a serious issue. Now, why didn't I put this online for all of them to be aware of? And I'm like, can we all get to a space where we get to know that I love the word you used. If you're not paying for the product, then you are the product. So that means one way or the other, you have to pay for it. So I can't imagine that particular information out there and seeing it being shared. It would have been. I don't think I would really want that. Then I saw you mentioned something, and it resonated with me back then when I was 7, about 9 years ago. NYC has a way they gather your information at the database, if
Mm-hmm.
you're aware.
Right.
So somebody reached out to me back then. I was a Mugudo. Somebody reached out to me back then and was like, it was my platoon mate and this and
Mm.
that there was this opportunity at
Right.
Bonny Highland. That
Mm.
was my first time hearing that. Bonny Highland and maybe Shell Company or something and everything. That for me to get the form, I should pay a particular amount. Yes, Mr.
Mm.
Faith. This is me saying it publicly. I paid.
Mm.
Yes, I paid for that form and it was looking super real, to be honest with you. They sent me the
Mm.
form. I even went to the cyber cafe to fill this form out because then I didn't have a system of my own, or my system got lost in between. So I paid for
Mm.
this form. I filled out form. I think that was the first time I got to use digital signature. I had
Okay.
to, and everything, and it was super real. In fact, I told my mom, and my mom was like, "Oh, please go ahead. You could get an opportunity to be in the oil company." I don't know if they dish out oil company jobs just so free. And
Mm.
it was like his uncle is this and that and this and that. And to be candid with you, it was at a point when he asked me to pay a particular amount of money, and I was like, "How's that possible?" Do you understand?
Mm.
And it
Mm-hmm.
was taking me through process. In fact, the process it was taking me was my like a normal recruitment process.
Mm.
But at a point, there was just a little mistake that made me know that no, this thing is wrong. And
Mm.
along the line, when I told some of my colleagues, my fellow coppers, and they were now
Mm.
telling me that they also received that same
Mm.
message.
Mm.
And it boiled down that probably our data has been compromised.
Mm-hmm.
Probably maybe there was one person, probably the LI office or something, you understand, that sold that data or something. And to be candid with you, a lot of people fell for it.
Mm.
A lot of people fell for it. So this is me keep bringing up my real life experiences, trying to tell us that there are some of these things that we might just be saying it, but there are practical aspects of some of these experiences. And also
Mm.
this for our elder educators that might not be digital natives, that they like to share broadcasts. They'll
Mm.
just keep on sharing any broadcast. And Tinubu's palliative, Buhari's palliative. Click on this link. I still saw that yesterday, and that's why I'm bringing it out here. And I saw, to be candid with you, I saw over 20 people filled that form. And
Mm.
I can't imagine their data, where that data is going to, and the people that will utilize those datas. Please, we
Mm.
need to do well for ourselves. That's why sessions like this are very, very important for us as educators. And like Mr. Faith also said in the beginning of the class, before we even started into the class, he was talking about informations that we digest. And he said that as teachers, as educators, we are influencers. That means what we have is what we are given. So I can't imagine you digesting the wrong content online and going to push those contents to our learners, and we keep on breeding generations on that wrong content. It is a whole lot. And also as parents, like Mr. Faith suggested, I'm also going to go to my apps. I'm going to go to my notifications because there are some things I was looking through, and yes, the ads there, I don't like them at all. Please go to your phones. As parents, we need to be conscious of what our children will see, and they will pick up our phones just free and just check. Please go there, check the settings, and please privatize it. Those that needs to be off there should be off there, because we would not want to breed a failed next generation of our own children, our words. So it is, in fact, Mr. Faith, thank you so much for today's session. Like, it
Problem.
was it was a lot. And also, I think this one is talking to me directly. When Mr. Faye was talking, he mentioned something. I hope we are taking note of all of these things. He said, limiting your screen time. This is me telling you I took notes. So, limiting your screen times on our phones. There are ways you can limit your screen times. I don't know about probably other phones, but for an iPhone, you can set your screen time that from so time to so time you should be inactive, because the damage the screen times does to our eyes is a whole lot for us to take. And one thing I was telling a colleague today, that body is the way you treat your body, that your body would later deal with you in the future. So whatever you dish to that body, it would later show you the full glimpse later in the future. So if you're not limiting your screen time now, your eyes, don't worry, it will tell you later in the future. Whatever we are doing, we have to take conscious effort. It is not about it's a conscious effort. And also cyberbullying. I hope you know. Okay, I've recently I was listening to these celebrities and everything, and I know that for cyberbullying, I didn't know that it can get to a law case until of recent.
Oh, yeah.
My brothers and sisters, my fellow educators, please, you have to stop cyberbullying and harassment, because somebody can sue you. Somebody that,
Mhm.
let me use this pidgin word, somebody will not get joy. That will not take it like you're playing or you're joking, and would take that particular. And the thing is, internet doesn't forget. Whatever you put on that internet, it does not forget. Somebody will help you screen munch it and
Mhm.
put it for you out there. And it will be used as, how do they do it in Nollywood movies? Exhibit one, evidence two. And tell me, there are so many offenses like that, that it is law related. And don't say because I'm online, you cannot get me. Part of what Mr. Faith was saying, when you are sharing your information, I've seen a live scenario that they track the person to a particular location based on a Facebook post, putting the location. I'm live at social location at that present moment, like real time.
Mhm.
And they came there, they picked the person up and bundled the person to the police station. The person exposed himself or herself. So we need to really do better. Mr. Faith, once again, thank you so much. And to
Okay.
our viewers, thank you so much for joining in. But before we wrap up, Mr. Faith, please, we
Yeah.
would like to know how to reach you. Should in case we want to learn more. I know of your company, ICT Metric, or let me say our company, ICT Metric. So how can we reach you if we want to learn more, if we want to get better? How can we reach you, sir?
Okay. Before I go into that, I just want to mention this to contribute to what you said the other time. I used to be a facilitator for HR class. One of the assignments we give them is this. As an HR, you need to know how to recruit. So we tell them, create a Google form and do as if you are recruiting talents. So they create a Google form and send it out that, okay, we have an opening in our company, in company XYZ. They will just form a company, or they can just say in a particular company, this is the pay, click on this link to apply now. And a lot of people will apply, send their CVs without authenticating. What kind of company is this? Where is the location? What do they do? But because a lot of people are looking for job, they just put their
It's
information
Sapa.
there.
We want a job.
Exactly. Meanwhile, this person that put out the link is also not employed, but that's just his project for the class. And the person will get all the CVs, get all the information, and you know what we put in the CV. So that information belongs to the person that collected. So it's quite a lot. We can exhaust this topic in 5 hours. Well, to reach me, my WhatsApp line is 0813 958 9243.
Can you share your last slide so
Oh,
people can
well,
see? All right, so to our viewers, you can see what is on your screen. You can reach Mr. Faith via his Facebook account, Faith Oludare, LinkedIn, Faith Oludare Israel, and you can go through his company's website, www.ictechmetrics.com.
yes.
Okay, his number is on the screen. His number is on the screen: 08139589243. And also you can reach him on 07018265336. Please reach out to him to get better. You can check His company's Facebook also, facebook.com/ictechmetrics, is YouTube, and you can reach him also on his Gmail, ictechmetrics@gmail.com. Okay, Billy Keys Temidayo, I hope you got the number there. So we'll be rounding off now. And like I said, if you want to reach him, please reach him. And also you can reach us on our website, www.edutams.net. On all of our social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, you can search for us, EduTAMS. EduTAMS. So once again, it's so nice to have you all. And let me ask if Mr. Faith has one thing to say, because we have to log out very soon. Mr. Faith, what do you have to tell our viewers before we wrap up quickly?
The only thing I will tell everyone is to think critically before we do anything on the digital space. Thank you very much.
All right. All right. Thank you very much. And like I keep on telling us, please do not stop learning. Do not stop growing. And when you're talking about learning, you learn, you relearn, and you also unlearn. So do not stop learning, do not stop growing, because the day you stop learning, you start dying. Once again, I am Queensley Ademola. Until we come your way next time, please stay safe online. Once again, stay safe online. Please do enjoy yourself.